Did SS. Himmler fully believed in the occult. But what about the Führer himself? What influence, if any, did black magic have on Adolf Hitler?
Government.
Hitler didn't really use magic, although his hold over people was almost magical. And I think that's an important thing to bear in mind, that Hitler presented himself and was presented as a kind of messianic figure. And what do messianic figures have to have? It's not just charisma, but they also have to have this sense of otherworldliness.
Houses and tarot cards and mead. It must be something, surrounded as he was with all of this occult, with dowsers and tarot cards and mediums, and then perhaps he became some form of conduit for the whole thing. And perhaps Hitler really was possessed by something to do with Satan or the devil or some other deity of some sort. Perhaps it's real.
Welcome to another episode of Not for the Weak-Minded. What is real and what is not in this world? Well, the things that they've just said, let's begin to analyse. The occult is the study of the unseen, the study of the hidden. So these people have studied what we would label today the paranormal. They have used, let's say, divination and magic. And magic is not in terms of what you think it is, in terms of going to a show and pulling a rabbit out of a hat. That's an illusion. Magic is pulling the wool over your eyes with spells without you really understanding it. So magic is spell casting, being able to influence the masses through words. So he influenced the masses using his words. And let's talk about Satanism, and again, something that is very real, but many people do not really want to talk about it or research it to understand how it relates to their existence. So, and why we're here in the first place, that we have a soul. So Hitler, demons, possession, ritual sacrifices, the elite, a world plan. Albert Pike. These people all knew each other, and they played, and the Catholic Church, unfortunately, controls all these people, and they played off each other. The red shield versus the blue shield, whether it's the Sunnis versus the Shias, you know, Catholic versus Protestant, divides. So they've divided us to the point today where we have forgotten history, and now it's repeating itself again because the same people in charge have the same ideologies as the Nazis. You know, evolution, let's talk, is a racist view of the world. It was based upon people from the Ku Klux Klan, let's call it, the Scottish Rite Freemasonry, and their ideologies of white power to rule the world. So before we get into the rest of the messages, let me just check. Yeah. We'll come back to that in a minute. So, we're going to talk about the royal 13 Templar bloodlines and their connection to those in charge and the atrocities of which they've done and are willing to do to us still today. Many of you don't know that trauma-based mind control or trauma can control the person's emotional outcome towards a desired result, let's call it, depending on the situation. Of course, each one's uniquely different in their way, but they're all the same. You know, people, rape victims from a child do end up having some kind of dissociative identity disorder. So this I'm going to talk about, as it says there, celebrities with dissociative identity disorder. Now, if you know what I'm going down, the avenue I'm going down, without really showing you the images, without really you seeing the trail of evidence that points to, well, let's call them pedophiles for what it is at the core of our society, and what they do to groom young people into the Masonic elite, into the secret societies. This does involve the education system. It involves the high-level universities, of which that get paid by very wealthy corporations, essentially. So some celebrities here that have come out and that have, you know, multiple personality disorders. Britney Spears. Some of them admit they have a name. Like, it might not be in this article, but for example, Beyonce's is Sasha Fierce, you know, and when she speaks about going on stage, she's in the ritual circle, right? And out of her own mouth says that the other things take over her body, right? She's not the only one. I mean, if you really, really want to know these things, I mean, there's plenty of channels out there, and to exposing these behaviours at the core of our society. So an ABC News reporter, Adam Duritz, Nicki Minaj, no surprise, Marilyn Monroe, abused by the elite. She was an elite escort, essentially. They passed her around like she was a doll. You know, that's what they do. They just keep passing you around until they break you. Lady Gaga, no surprise, man, trans. And this is where you gotta go into understand about the trans agenda. And I have done videos about this too, and how that's the falling away, and how unfortunately the United Nations is doctrine coming from the United Nations is all about bringing world peace, but it's not. It's a lie. It's all draconian. It's all Orwellian. The people that bring peace supposedly have not done so, and are never going to do so when they are controlled by the same people that control our country. The same countries that are creating war, the ones that are going to put peace in the countries that they're warring in. Mel Gibson. He's a Jew-hating schmuck. Trudy Chase. Ricky Lee Travolta. And again, you research this subject, you'll find out there's more. So what happens to children and gender confusion? Well, let's just say suicide's on the rise, right? and it isn't just about the economy, you know, and the physical struggles we have. It's the spiritual ones that matter, because suicide albeit is one of the most craziest and bravest things you can do in this world, courageous, it's still wrong. It's still a mistake. But they forced us. They have put us between a rock and a hard place. So now we have no choice but to combat this head on, you know. Which means full-blown revolution. It means full-blown destruction of their apparatuses across the country, and to reorganize, to take over their resources, to reorganize, you know, full-blown, literally. That's the only way I see. So 49 celebrities and public figures who have coronavirus. Now obviously this is just another angle for you to understand that these people have lied to you, that coronavirus is not what you think it to be, and you need to know a lot of information to do with the human body, how they've lied to you about electromagnetic fields, or magnetic electric fields to be precise, and radio or radiation waves. It's harmful to us. It's harmful to all life. It's been proven without a shadow of a doubt, and still people refuse. People will still want to walk straight forward into a technological trap without even knowing the consequences. We all need faster internet. Boris Johnson, Prince Albert of Monaco, whoever that is, right? All these celebrities have just contracted it. It should make you question, right? Like, for example, certain articles should make you question. Like, for example, how it would get into certain prisons, right? When the people, well, and especially when you do the research and you find out that none of those people went to China, none of these people that went to the prisons contracted this supposed virus, right? Which is actually symptoms of being poisoned and being in a fog of frequencies around you. Andy Cohen, they just, yeah. So every single one of these people I'm showing you, they're all related. They keep it in the bloodline, and if they're not related, they got groomed. You know, nevertheless, they got groomed into positions of power. It's the way it works, and unfortunately, you know, this is the cycle that we need to change. We need to stop putting these false idols in a way first, to see that they're the ones that need our help. They're the ones that need to know to, you know, obviously they go too far, you know. It's it's hard, isn't it, you know, because they're our enemy, and at the same time I feel sorry for them because they're abused all their lives. No wonder why they go crazy and then get cloned. So yeah, all these people just come out. What I think it is they're saying to each other, because this is how it works, the elite send each other messages using the media under the guise of something that the public have no idea. All these people are related. They're all related. It's all in the nose as well. Crooked noses. Oh look, Kumo. Corrupted. Pink. So if you've been following my channel, you'll know that everyone's infected already. I've been telling people for over a year, over almost 2 years, everyone's infected because of geoengineering, because of the food, because of the water. But you know, like most people don't understand that concept, even though they're shown it through zombie movies. You know, how did it start, the zombie? Oh, it just turned out everyone was infected already, and when they died, all of a sudden, they turned. I wonder what that could be. Are they going to try and raise the dead with technologies? Like I said, like the dangers ahead of us because of these technologies is just scary. And a lot of people rather live in La La Land, you know. So, celebrity deaths and hoaxes. 46 famous people who were reported dead, but really wasn't. Oh look, Paul McCartney, Richard Fox, Alice Cooper. So one thing tells me is when they get it to a point, they have to do this type of ritual. Whether it's the first type of rituals that's embarrassment or ridicule, where they have to put themselves in the limelight in a not a good way to get up the ranks, to get more money, to get more fame, to get more power, right? That's how it works. Avril Lavigne, Will Ferrell, all these people are related. Every single one of these born into a corrupt family of pure evil. But they make you seem like they're the good guys, because that is how they roll. Philanthropy, charity, love and kindness on the outside, but on the inside they are cold, cold, cold. Reptile cold. So all these people, right, let's go back to Hitler. It's a bit sidetracked. I didn't actually plan to do it this way, but that's the way it's gone. So that's the way it is. Where am I going now? 21. 26. Okay. So this guy here, his name is Eric Jan Hanussen, and he, as it says here, was an Austrian Jewish publicist, charlatan, clairvoyant performer, acclaimed in his lifetime as a hypnotist, mentalist, occultist, and astrologer. He was active in Weimar Republic, Germany, and also at the beginning of the Nazi Party. He, according to this documentary, taught Hitler how to have a stage presence, right? He taught Hitler everything he knows about the occult and about mentalism and about how to mold the stage to him so that everyone would listen. Well, it worked, right? So if you want to blame anyone, you're going to blame this dude. He helped Hitler get his stagecraft. And he was a hypnotist. Now there is some articles here that suggest that even this guy tricked him, hypnotized Hitler himself. I don't know about that. Nevertheless, it seems like a lot of these people in high places, they really are just scapegoats. Really. They may have done horrible things on paper, but the people behind them are the ones that have done it. The people that have actually put them in power are the ones that have done it. The Rothschilds, and the Rockefellers, and the Weishaupts. So he was a hypnotist. Okay, sorry. Wrong one. Okay. 21, 26.
He was very popular with the Nazis, mainly because it is said, at least, that he was Hitler's teacher in one sense. He taught him stagecraft. He taught him how to hold an audience in the palm of your hands, how to look them in the eye, how to mesmerize them.
Sorry, what was that? Taught him how to what?
Stagecraft. He taught him how to hold an audience in the palm of your hands, how to look them in the eye, how to mesmerize them.
He taught him how to mesmerize them. It's not me that's using these words to try and wake you up, it's them. I'm just trying to point you to the fact that mesmerize means hypnotize. Because the guy that is one of the founders of hypnotism during our age was called Mesmer. Right? And they used the language of the occult in plain sight. And that's a literal laughing reference for them. Ha ha ha, we hypnotized them.
Stagecraft. He taught him how to hold an audience in the palm of your hands, how to look them in the eye, how to mesmerize them.
Well, I do hope this comes past copyright infringement. So he mesmerized them. Fancy that. So, Aleister Crowley. If you don't know his name, why don't you know his name? He was, why? You should know his name. Everyone should know this man's name, for his number is 666. He gave Churchill the V sign, and essentially the Germans were using the occult, they were using black magic rituals, and we did the same. And they employed Aleister Crowley to use black magic to ward off an invasion. This is what it says.
With some occult magic of their own. So they are alleged to have enlisted
1,000 points of light.
Most famous occultist in Britain, Aleister Crowley, who is said to have helped Churchill by giving him the V for victory symbol.
As far as I know.
So, black magic, the occult, which is the use or study of the unseen, so the paranormal, is something that most people don't want to talk about. Most people don't even want to acknowledge it's real, right? Even though you can go on the television, on the channel, on your TV set, and look through the channels, and you'll find loads of them about mediums, people's experiences with the paranormal, and that includes stuff like paranormal 911, for example, 9/11, about first responders' experiences with the paranormal. Every time you hear one episode, they'll always say the same thing. I was a non-believer, but now I am because of that experience. You don't need to have an experience. You don't need to see to believe. Yeah? See it. It's about acquiring the right little bit of information and the right bit of knowledge collectively over a long or short period of time to change your perception. Right? If you don't look at this information, you're never going to change your mind. But this is an evil symbol. It doesn't mean peace. It means vengeance. Wicked, evil, murderous, paedophile. These people have lied to you. They've lied to everyone by using black magic, using drugs and in the food and the water. They've put a spell on every single one of us because the education system is based on false principles. Every single subject is based on a lie at the core. The foundations of their subjects have been destroyed by the collective consciousness of our species. If you don't want to see it buckled on the floor, that's not my problem. But I'm trying to help you see that it's because of these people that you don't see the truth. It's because of these people that you've been enslaved and as a corporate entity that is seen as cattle that is not even alive, because they don't see you as having a soul. Because they don't teach you that. They see you as soulless beings, right? Nothing, right? You're just a number to these people. If you want change, you've got to wake up. Is that the last clip? I do believe. So anyway, a lot of people... No, it wasn't. Yeah. It was near the end. This on the floor is to do electricity flow. Technological. And beautiful castles. Oh, there we go. Let's leave it there. Hitler dead. How many of you, if you're still listening, think he died in the bunker, committed suicide? Shall I go back to the historical famous people who reported dead but weren't? Hitler can be added onto this list, right? So who covered up the greatest conspiracy of all time? Who is responsible for the greatest conspiracy of all time? Who conspires against the population? It's just to prove a point. They'll go, no, Hitler's skull was found in the bunker, that's the end of it. Come on, look beyond your... If you don't know that there's more to the story than that by now, you've not looked. So, tests on the skull cast doubt upon the suicide story. Red Cross and Vatican helped thousands of high-ranking Nazis to escape, including Hitler. The Red Cross, that's the Swiss Red Cross, and the Vatican, yeah, the Red Shields and the Vatican helped thousands of Nazi war criminals escape to South America using the rat lines. These are the people we know made it to South America, and they are evil people, right? The fact of the matter is that the American government, right, took all these high-ranking Nazis and put them into NASA, right? If you think the Nazis have gone away, what world are you living in, people? Right? Why, like, eugenics never went away. It went underground, absolutely, but it's back. It is back full force today. I mean, we are in danger of losing everything. You know, because we have not learned our lessons. Good people do not do what is right. So Adolf Eichmann, Joseph Mengele, Angel of Death, you know, the Doctor of Twins, Walter Ralph, and there's a town in South America which is the most twins in the world. Born in that town, small town in South America, and guess who loved it? I think it was Mengele. Love twins. I'm pretty sure. Walter Ralph, we've discussed. I've done a video about Walter Ralph. Took a few videos from Hunting Hitler. If you've not watched Hunting Hitler, I recommend watching that. Franz Strangel, Joseph Schwamberger, Eric Probecki, and Gerard Bohon. So all of these people that were involved in this war, that really were involved in orchestrating it, they got away with it, right? So the Nuremberg trial to prosecute all these Nazis, it was pointless. Didn't, you know? Particularly when the people doing it knew better. They knew that that high-ranking Nazis escaped. They knew the Catholic Church was helping them. Nazis created basic plan for European Union. UKIP MEP Gerard Batten says. Again, do you think the Nazis have gone away? Their ideologies, their plans to euthanize the earth, to leave one superior race? No. It's under the guise of Bill Gates now, and others like that, corporations. So, and this is why a European army can the dream become a reality? 7th of January 2019. That's what it's about. Under the guise of peace, creating an army for an invasion. Europe doesn't want to go down with the sinking ship of the Western civilization, which is Britain and America and Israel, right? The beast nations, Italy, they all want to try and jump ship, right? That's why. Economy's going to collapse. But the beast system is still coming around us. The first beast will be wounded, but the second, the dragon, will take over. What does that mean? It means China, right? The first beast is this. The second will be China. I don't want war, but I don't want people to suffer anymore. I want the truth, and I want people to use the truth so we can build a better world. Unfortunately, the people that want to build a better world have got better ideas. Sorry, they've got their own ideas about building their world in their own image. And it goes against creation, it goes against God, it goes against living in harmony with the earth. They want to terraform it. They are trying to terraform it, in fact, through geoengineering. They want to lower the climate, and they also want to get rid of CO2 emissions, right? Well, the plants need that, and we need the plants. So, zero CO2 is going to kill the earth. That's terraforming to me. Terraforming talk. So Hitler didn't die. He made it to South America. Every single thing we've been told is a lie. And everyone has been mesmerised.
How to hold an audience in the palm of your hands, how to look them in the eye, how to mesmerise them.
Please share, like and subscribe.